Shalom, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command and John YAHANNA. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other group, you understand? It's the Tuesday Brotherhood class. I'm Priest Officer 500, Shamgar Bun Yamyan, holding it down in the UK, in London. You understand? The title today is Love Thy People. You understand? With witnessing all the things that we are seeing in the world and have been seeing, you understand, with all the wars and the rumors of wars and the things going on around the world. In the midst of all that and where we live and where we are and our wherever we may be scattered, you understand? In the midst of all the things that we have enjoyed as a people and still are enduring, and the wars that are around about us and among these nations, we should know that in the midst of all of that, our plight and our effort and our minds and our compassion should not be exhausted to the cares of other nations of people. You understand? All that we have should be exhausted to the love of our own people. That's what we should be looking towards. You understand? We need to come back to the loving of our people and not to do with the things of other nations of people. You understand? You know what I mean? We need to come back to loving our own people and look at the greatness and the wonders and the wonder within the great and talent and the wealth of our people that we have, man. The wealth of the people that we are. You know what I mean? The wealth that we contain as a people, our spirit, our style, and our swag. You know what I mean? Everything that we do, our style, our music, our talent, everything that we touch turns to gold. And we should exhaust more of our efforts to actually, love our own brothers and sisters, man. To actually be concerned with the affairs of our people rather than the concerns of others. Especially considering the fact that the people of, the people of our nation and the people that we look to love and look to, give our compassion to, these nations of people will not think twice to oppressing and destroying you. They will not think twice on looking down upon you and your people and spitting at them, and even spitting at the thought of you. You understand? And this is the thing: Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans understand that these things that we see are prophecies being fulfilled. But what we miss and can't comprehend is that, like the brother said online, Colombia is still burning, man. Our brothers in our Asherites in Colombia, those Tainos are still suffering at the hands of the oppressor. You know what I mean? And when I say the hands of the oppressor, meaning the system that is set up over there in South America, the oppressive system that has caused them to be in such poverty and go through such oppression is all coordinated by the same oppressor that put the blacks of the transatlantic slave trade in the conditions that we are in. You understand? Those blacks of the transatlantic slave trade and the Native Americans on those reservations, we are in the ghettos or the reservations or the barrios. We are in those predicaments because of the situation that our oppressor has put us in. And we are in the mental state because we have been destroyed as a people. You understand? We have been destroyed as a people because of the oppression. You know what I mean? When people go to war, they suffer from a thing called, post-traumatic stress, I think it's called, right? PTSD, right? Well, we are suffering that same thing, man. As a nation of people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have been suffering from PTSD. All the oppression and the torture and the torment that we have endured as a nation of people, that is why we are so destroyed today. That is why we are so self-oppressive today within our communities. And that is why we're in the predicaments that we are in. The reason why you've got brothers, killing each other. The reason why you got sisters hating on one another is not because we were just made like that. You know what I mean? It's not because we just randomly just woke up one day and decided to, hate our own people. No, it's because this is what was beaten into us in slavery. This is what was beaten into our brothers in North Central and South America. When the conquistadors came over, when the British and the Spanish, you know what I mean? This is the result of the oppression that we have suffered. And when we look to give a damn about another nation of people who are being slaughtered at this time. Well, we've been being slaughtered, man. You understand? When we was being sold on those slave ships, who do you think had their hand in it? You know what I mean? Not only was it the so-called Palestinians, not only was it the fake Jews, you know what I mean? Not only was it them, it was the African, it was those Palestinians, those Arabs, it was every nation, the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indian, you name it, the Caucasian, everybody had their hand in our oppression. And even when we endure oppression today, who stands with us? You know what I mean? Like, we've got to keep it real. Who actually stands with the plight of our people? But whenever us are being slaughtered like animals, you understand? You don't see no big protest in Nigeria. You don't see no big protest in Ghana or Ghana or whatever. You know what I mean? Or in Somalia or Sudan. You know what I mean? Or in Saudi Arabia or in China or in Japan or India, and the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? But we love to give our love and our compassion to these people. That's the problem. That's the issue with blacks and Hispanics, man. You know what I mean? Oh, shalom. Yeah, what's up? So, okay, I can't hear you. You there, yeah? Oh, you on mute, that's why. I think you're muted, yeah. Yeah, your mic's muted. No, I still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Yeah, your mic's muted again. No, I can't hear you. I can see you, but I can't hear you. Try maybe try using your phone instead of the computer, baby, because yeah, it's not. I can't hear anything. I don't know what it is. No, don't call. No, don't call no one. No. Just press the link. Press the link. Yeah, if you press the link on your phone, right, and just use the speaker on the to just on what you do, press the link on your phone, right, and then just use the speaker from the phone to speak, right, and then you can mute the camera on the phone and just use the camera on the computer. You know what I mean? No, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. So lucky everybody, just technical difficulty, but we'll be with you shortly. Oh, serious? Oh, okay. All right, no sweat. Right. Slow, low press. All right, no sweat. Just you gonna do it from the phone right now. Hold on. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
I can hear you now. Yes.
All right, no sweat. All right, then. Well, just you could just put the phone down and then what do you call it? So now just you can just read from there, right?
Use the phone. Use the phone.
Yeah, no sweat. No sweat. So mute me. Okay. Hold on. How's it gonna work? No sweat. So So what we're gonna do, right? You know what I mean? So like I was saying anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like in regards to all the things that we're seeing going on today, especially specifically with Palestine and and Israel, so-called Israel, Israel the land, not the people. You know what I'm saying? The Israeli, the Amalekites, which is their true name. That's who they truly are. Is Amalek. You understand? And we as a people need to recognize that our compassion and our thoughts should not go to Palestine. Our compassion and our thoughts should not go to the fake Jews. Our compassion and our thoughts should go to every black man of the transatlantic slave trade, every native of North, Central, and South America, like our brothers in Colombia right now who are suffering. You understand? Like our brothers right now who are suffering at the hands of an oppressive system that was created by the oppressor, by the so-called Caucasian. You understand? That's what we should. Those are the people we should be thinking about. Not about no damn Arabs who actually had a hand in our oppression and still have a hand in our oppression now. You understand? Those Arabs that are in your community and that you know what I mean, those same Palestinians that are in your community and they literally oppress our brothers in the community, man, selling us foolish and terrible food and oppress us when we go into their stores. You understand? Those are the same people who we want to give our compassion to. You know what I'm saying? Or there's some people who want to give their compassion to the fake Jews, which is ridiculous. None of those nations of people has ever come to us in our time of need. You understand? In our time of our oppression and need, none of them have ever come to us. You understand? None of them have ever come to our aid. You know what I mean? In the time of our oppression, whenever we're being slaughtered over here on this side of the hemisphere. You understand? So with that, Slaki, you still there, yeah? Okay, no sweat. If you can get me Matthew chapter 18 and verse 1, Bob Kishar. You know what I mean? Because as a body of people, our plight and our battle and our effort should not be trying to love any of these heathen nations. Our plight and our battle should not be trying to seek the acceptance of any of these nations of people. But our plight and our battle should be in trying to love ourselves, man, and trying to build among one another. You understand? Not trying to be their best friend or loving them or trying to show them some compassion that they'll never show you. Because the simplicity of it is this. When George Floyd died, which is only so long ago, you didn't see no protest in Palestine like how you're seeing black people posting on Instagram about Palestine and talking about them. You didn't see that. You know what I mean? You never saw that in China, in Japan, in India, any of these nations. You never saw it there. You never saw it in Africa. You never saw it in Egypt. You never saw it in Somalia or Ghana or whatever the case may be. You never saw it over there. Because these nations of people are the ones who are happy with you being in the state that you're in. These nations of people are the ones who, if they're living good and they're doing all right and they see you suffering and living like a dog, they don't care because they're the ones who put you in that position anyway. They're the ones who had a hand in putting you down like that, in putting us in this condition because they are our enemies. You understand? These nations of people are our enemies and we should not lift a finger towards them in trying to, show them some love. You understand? Oh, I hear you now. Most High Christ.
Still up, kid. Can you hear me, sir?
Come on, that's better. That's right. You on now. Most High Christ.
Yeah, I just have to reset this.
Yeah, man. No sweat. All right, but yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, say good. All right, no sweat. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, man. You know what I mean? Like none of these nations of people are giving you love, black man. They ain't giving you love, Hispanics and Native Americans. They ain't giving you no love. You understand? The only thing they will do is try to be friends with you and smile in your face. But then at the latter time, they will what? They will take from you. And then when they've taken from you, they will leave you in a ditch. You know what I mean? None of these nations of people that are round about us can never claim any right to our allegiance. None of these nations of people have ever deserved our allegiance, but they have it unconditionally because we have been brought down so low that we've been taught like a dog, like a slave, to only please and love them. whether it be the Arabs or the Asians of any kind, or the Africans or the white people, whoever it is, it's always somebody. You know what I mean? We can never, as a people, just be like, you know what? Let's just look after our own. We're the nation of people that every nation has oppressed. Every nation looks down upon. You know what I mean? Like you know, living in London, right? You know, you got many different nations of people around here. You know, many different heathen nations. But understanding that, okay, like for example, among our brothers, right? You know, we as a people get along with like Turkish and that, right? But you know, you do understand that when the Turkish came over here, right? They were being oppressed by the Caucasian man. You understand the British white man. You understand, and they were being oppressed and treated like dogs, just as we were, right? Not the same, but you know, you understand. They had their form of oppression. They had their, you know, this discrimination against them and all the rest of it. And you know, but guess who came to save them? It wasn't their own brothers. It wasn't their fellow Muslim people. No, it was blacks of the Caribbean. Those so-called those Benjamites, those so-called Jamaicans and Trinidadians and Bajans. You know what I mean? Those people were the ones who came to their aid. Those people were the ones that stood with them. And what happened is we think that because we helped them and they're cool with us because of that, now we're all friends and bubbly, you know what I mean? Which is foolishness, because looking now, look at all the kebab shops they've got here, look at all the businesses they have and they thrive in, right? And what do we have? You know what I mean? We don't, what have they done to reward us for their help or their assistance or standing with them in their time? You know what I mean? There's many cases of it where, you know, blacks over here who have always only enjoyed oppression have helped so-called foreigners or people of another ethnicity, the nation that is not our own. Just like the Irish. The same thing with the Irish, man. The Irish, they came over here and there was a sign called no blacks, no dogs, no Irish, right? But then there was a time where we, once again, had to save Massa, you know what I mean? And we had to side with them. And then what happened when we side with them? They piggybacked off of our oppression, of our plight, and then when they found the reward and found the actual, you know, conclusion to, you know, jumping and trying to following us to strive in this whole fight and unity and all this, right? They moved out of the areas, because back in the day, they lived in the same areas as black people. The Irish would live in the same areas as the blacks of the Caribbean. You understand? Those blacks, so you know what I mean. The Irish at one time lived in our areas as well. And then what happened? They found a reward. They found justice. You understand? They found justice. They went and go and live in the nice neighborhoods of other white people. You know what I mean? And then where are we? Where was we left at? Oh yeah, we were still in the ghettos in Brixton and in Peckham and all over in Croydon and all over South London and all over London in general. You know what I mean? We was left in the ghettos, and it's the same thing. And the same thing with the Africans too. The same thing with any nation that comes over here. We always show them love because we're just a loving people. You know what I mean? And then they use that love and they gain from it, and then they go about their business. That's the thing.
That's right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to learn how to stop being a damn slave. That's the reality, man. That's true brotherhood. The true brotherhood, true love to your brothers and sisters and your people is learning how to not be a damn slave, man. There's nothing wrong with being in this world and work with different nations of people, and everyone has their mutual respects. But there's no respect to us when we are the ones not gaining from anything, man. We're the ones always suffering and always getting the worst end of things. You understand? We're never the ones to find reward and find justice in the midst of the place that we live in. You understand? And this is the problem. When we look to give our compassion and our love to Palestine or the Israelis or whoever it may be, we need to remember that it's an ongoing pattern. History has always been repeating itself when we want to give our love to these nations of people, man. You understand? When we should be giving our love to that brother who owes you £10. You should be giving your love to that brother or that sister that owes you something. You understand? You should be giving your love to the nation of people who have suffered under the hands of these people, these nations, man. You understand? You should be giving your love to your brothers and your sisters, man. Those blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans who have endured what you have, come from the same thing as you do, the same history as you, man. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. When we want to fight for them, they will never fight for us, man. You understand? They will never fight for us. And that's the reality that we as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't want to face. We don't want to face that reality. We want to live in the clouds and be a part of some rainbow defiled coalition that is never, ever, ever has benefited us. But we think that we can still remain strong and proud within ourselves. But yeah, we have to bend over backwards for these other nations, man. This is the simplicity of the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. That's why we're at the bottom of society. Doesn't matter where you go, you can run all across the world. You will find oppression. When they find out who you are and where you come from, you will find oppression. You know what I mean? They will see you. You walk different than them, man. You breathe different from them, man. And you can't outrun these curses, man. You know what I mean? So like you can't outrun these curses. You can't outrun the oppression that is marked upon our bloodline. You know what I mean? The only way you can come here on this earth today and truly relieve yourself and your people is by getting up in the I.S.U.P.K and changing your life and coming back to your heritage. That's the only way you can find and have a conclusion and get to a point of conclusion where you have found justice. You have finally found, that heaven, that great kingdom of rulership, man. When you can have these nations at the chain, you know what I mean, around their neck and walking them like dogs, man, because that is where they will be and that is their rightful place. They will truly find justice in that day because they will have to answer for the crimes of their foreparents, man, and the crimes they commit today. There's never a time in the Bible where nations of people have escaped the judgment of the wrath of the Most High, especially when they've stood against His people. You understand? His chosen line that has only ever endured oppression. So like it, you know what I mean? So like it though, if you get me Matthew 18:1, because to the topic, we should strive for this. We should strive for brotherhood, and we should strive for getting one another. You know what I mean? Because it's easy for us. Like I said before, I can't say it enough. It's easy for us to give our love to these nations of people, but yet when it comes to our brother, we hate him for the thing that is less than nothing, man. Less than nothing. You know what I mean? Not nothing. Less than nothing. We want to hate our brother for, and that's the problem. That's the issue with blacks today, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans today. And this is the battle that we should be fighting. The battle that we should be fighting is the plight to fight for brotherhood and sisterhood. Fighting for brotherhood and sisterhood is the battle that we should be fighting. That's what we should be dealing with, man. We shouldn't be bothering about them, man. Leave them alone, man. They are nothing, man. Right. You understand? That's the Bible says. So, like, you read that, Bob Shaw.
Matthew 18:1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Go ahead.
And Yahushua called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So there you go, man. You understand? There was a question about, you know what I mean, a question to our king, you know what I mean, Yahushua Mashiach. A question saying, you know what I mean, stating, who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Meaning what? There's a ranking system in the kingdom of heaven, and there's a ranking system in the school, you understand? There's a ranking system all around. The Lord is about order and structure, you understand? And with the Most High, it's the Most High above all things. And then in second in command is our king, Yahushua. Then after that, you understand, is man and woman and child. You understand? That's how the order of things is, man. And if you read that last bit again, Bob Kishar, about
okay, ye shall not and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So there you go, man. He said, Christ said, if you didn't enter and come as little children, you will never enter into the kingdom of the Lord, man. You understand? Meaning what? You don't literally have to, go back in time and be a child, but you have to As a child is raised and grown up, they are humble. They don't know nothing. You understand? They don't act like they know anything either. You understand? And that being said, how a child is told something and they just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? The sky is blue, right? We know the color blue. But if we told a child growing up that the sky was green and he looked at the sky and he thought that that color was green, he will believe you say that that's green because the child will just absorb the knowledge that you tell him. And that's what Christ was referring to. Christ was referring to that aspect of being a child where, you know, you absorb the knowledge of the Most High and you change yourself. You understand? You absorb it and you take it on as full on. You know what I mean? That's the only way we as a people can turn from being slaves and trying to give our love to every nation on the planet Earth that is not our own, that oppresses us. If we come back as children and, you know, destroy all that defiled, unclean garbage that we learned in the world of being a simple slave and loving everybody, but in the midst of seeing and being able to witness that everyone else does not love us, that's what we need to throw away. We need to be retaught and cleanse our mind of that slave mindset, man. Those slave teachings, which has been passed down from generation to generation. Those slave teachings, which has defiled our nation for all these over 400 years. That's what we need to come back as children and learn what the scriptures, our ancient records have given us, man. You know what I mean? Read on.
Put on Costa. Whosoever therefore, Salakia. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
So there you go, man. If you humble yourself as a child and you rethink yourself and remember who you are and take on this knowledge that the Lord has given us and has been passed down from the elders, you understand? This knowledge that will restore our nation to its rightful place. And if we humble ourselves as that little child, you understand, that's who will be great in the kingdom, man. You know what I mean? That's the person who's going to be great. That person who absorbs this knowledge and is humble in taking heed to what it's said. You know what I mean? Where it's so easily taught and told, because based on what is written and what is taught, he will observe and do. He will do as is commanded. That's what we need. That's who's going to be great in the kingdom. That's who's going to rule over these nations and be over different cities and towns across the planet Earth, man. You know what I mean? Those people who can take up that level of humility and hearken unto what is right before their faces, man. You understand? You know what I mean? When you're looking at all these religions round about us, Christianity, Islam, and all the other nonsense out there, that is not the truth, right? You understand? These are the things that plague us. And because of that mindset of, you know, what you think you know it all, and you think what you know is something. That's the mindset that will not be great in the kingdom, man. That mindset of, you know, you think you know what it is, but yet this is the truth. And you're gonna believe the Christian doctrine based on the simple fact that that's what you've known for so long. But not even acknowledging the fact that that is foolishness. According to facts and proof, that is nonsense. It's not correct. It's just complete nonsense. But it is what has been forced down your throat for all of these years. So that makes it worth. That makes, even though it's retarded, right? That means that I still have to follow it. That person will not enter the kingdom and be great in the kingdom. That person will be low in the kingdom of heaven. And just understand that everyone will be in the kingdom. Everyone that you see before you today, every man, woman, and child on the earth today will be in the kingdom to come. They will all be in the kingdom, but they will not be in charge. That's the first thing, just to understand that they will not be in charge. The condition they will be in is the question. You know what I mean? The condition that any Black, Hispanic, and Native American will be in that kingdom to come, in our state of rulership over this earth. That will be the condition that will be decided in this time. You understand? But for the heathen, for example, they all will be in servitude to the nation of Israel under our King YAHANNA. You understand? They will all be in subservience to us, regardless. They will be there, but don't fake Israelites think that they're going to be there and be friends with them and running around with them and playing patty cake with them. Nah, they're going to be in chains, man, and they're going to be taking orders and receiving the judgment for the crimes that they have committed against the Most High and Christ and His people. You understand? And this is the reality that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today wanna throw away. This is the reality that we can't see today because we are truly clouded in the judgment of being a slave and being weak and soft as you could possibly be, and without any integrity or honor to know when to stand for something and know when to shut the hell up. That's the problem.
Right.
We should know that the time to stand for it is when it comes to the Most High and our people. That's when we should stand for something, not when it's just nonsense that means nothing and is vain. But we should look to, being humble as the child, and learning this true knowledge, and coming back to our true heritage, not coming on nonsense, man. So, like, you read on.
And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
Mm-hmm.
But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he was drowned in the depth of the sea.
So right. So it said, so whosoever will offend these little ones. Now the little ones it's referring to is those that are young in the truth, those that are coming up in the truth, who don't know much, and they're little ones, you understand, or the young men or young women, you understand. Those are the people that are coming from the truth, who don't know the way of things. Things can be perceived a certain way. Well, that's what it's referring to. When we deal with those brothers and sisters in the world, there's a way we have to go by, and it's not something that you can just know like that. You have to be taught. You have to be learned, and experience will teach you that. You understand? And that little one that you're offending, you can't talk to him like you talk to a trooper or officer. You understand? You can't show him certain things because he wouldn't know the order of things. You understand? He won't know. You know what I mean? That he don't know the law like that. You know what I mean? So you have to show him as he's a child. You know what I mean? You have to show him as a child and give him that respect. But you do your best not to offend him to the point where he's like, you're trying to run him down. You know what I mean? You want to show him according to the doctrine, according to the sound doctrine, and according to what is right. You give him that time. But an officer or a trooper, that's different. The officer or trooper, they've received that oil on their head. And of course, we're not trying to, you know what I mean? You still ain't gonna run them down still, but they know better, and they have that oil on their head, and they have taken up this time and this oath to serve the Most High. But they have taken up that place in the Lord's military, as it was. You understand? Whereas a young man or a young woman, they're new, and you'd have to be delicate with them as you would a child. You understand? So I can read on. All right, and it said, you know what I'm saying. If you don't be delicate and tender with them as you should, you make that mistake. And the Lord said it is better that you would have hanged yourself with a millstone. Meaning what? Someone that's new, right? They come up in here and they're new, and they don't know much, but they have that zeal because they want to be about it, right? But because the way you're dealing with them, they will end up leaving or throwing this away and despairing, right? They will despair this truth because they had that zeal, but you just came and stomped all over it. A lot of fake Israelites do that as well. A lot of fake Israelites turn our brothers and sisters from this truth because they teach the heresies of hell, man. You know what I mean? They teach the heresies of Satan, which will enable them to oppress their own people and allow their brothers and sisters to be fallen over by the hand of any other heathen. You understand? That will break a brother or sister's spirit because they will think that those fake Israelites are in the truth, and then they will turn them away. You understand? That's what that's referring to. Turning them away from what the Lord gave them, that zeal, and you just coming and shit and stamping all over it. You know what I mean? That's what it's like a plant. A plant, when it first sprouts out of the seed, out of the soil, it's so new and fresh, and it's so tender and delicate. But then it's like you going to that plant and stamping on it at its weak and new state. You know what I mean? That's the same thing. And the Lord said it is better that you get a millstone. Now, a millstone is a heavy piece of rock. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what rock they use, but it's a big round piece of rock, right? Probably about 6 foot tall or higher than that, probably. And it's round. It goes around like a big wheel like that. And what that's used for is it's a mill, right? And it's it's attached to wood and it goes round. And what you do is in like a bowl structure, a big type of contraption, right? And what they do is they put seeds in there. They put seeds in there to be crushed and to be crushed out into dust. You know what I mean? To form, I think it form powder, I believe, right, or something or other. But it does what it does is it crushes those seeds and it grinds them up with that big hefty stone, right? And the Lord said it's better that you hang yourself with that and you jump in the sea. Remember, if you hang that around your neck and you jump in the sea, you're gonna drown, right? We know how heavy that thing is. That's what the Lord said, man. That's why we have to be delicate. And we should not be as those fake Israelite heretics, Salakia, who consistently oppress the people. I mean, consistently look down upon the people and don't try to raise them up. Don't try to show them, but just try to run them down. You know what I mean? And they are taught by cowards and you know what I mean, and deserters. So it's only understood. It only makes sense why they do that. You know what I mean? So I can read on.
Come on, content. Verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses.
So it says, woe unto the world, meaning destruction. Destruction will come into the world because of offenses, man. Offenses come among brothers and sisters all the time. You understand? And that causes destruction. It causes confusion. But read on.
Come on, content. For it must needs be that offenses come.
So there you go, man. It causes that level of confusion. It causes that level of destruction. But the Bible says that it needs be. You understand? It needs be that these things happen. It needs be that these things come. You understand? It is a necessity. Because why? Without these things, everybody would just be walking around like a bunch of damn marshmallows and bouncing around and nothing will get done. Because everyone will be soft and weak. The Lord would try brothers and sisters with fire, man. You understand? He will put brothers and sisters in the fire of adversity. And he will put things around you to test you. You understand? He will test brothers and sisters to see what they're worth and what they're really about. If they're going to run away or they're going to stand strong and endure and be strong at the last end. That's what the Lord does. That's why he said it needs be. It must be that offenses come. Because it would be too easy if, everybody said the right thing to you. Nobody said anything that may have made you feel a certain way, or made you would have think about the world or whatever. Listen, man, you won't be strong, because that means that anything that someone does to you, you're just a liability. Let's say in the UPK, let's just say we allow people in here that didn't have that level of discipline, and we don't try them first. Well, then you can't be of use to us, because you're gonna be a liability. You're gonna get us all arrested for looking stupid. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get us arrested for doing righteously. You're gonna get us arrested for just acting a fool. And that's not how the UPK operates. You understand? The UPK on the Command General YAHANNA does not operate like that. You understand? Since 1969, we have been given the structure and the order of things and how to conduct ourselves. You understand? And with that, yeah, it needs be that it must happen. These things must happen because it's a test to see how if you truly love your brothers and sisters. You understand? If you truly love your people and you really love the Most High, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested with things that, you just won't understand, but it will test you. You understand? Read on from there, Baba Kishar.
But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
Right. So there you go, man. Whom the offense cometh unto, the Bible says, woe to that man. He will find the destruction. The one who's offended, He's the one who's gonna go. He's going through the trial. You know what I mean? He's going through that fire. That fire is burning inside him because he don't know how to act in that time. That's why it says, "Whoa." You know what I'm saying? So I can read on.
Father Apostle. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off.
So
and cast
when it
them
says,
from thee.
so when it says, when thy hand or thy foot offend thee, it doesn't literally mean you get a damn dragon slayer and cut off your hand or your foot. It don't mean that. It don't mean you get the machete and cut off your thing. No, it don't mean that. What it does mean though is that figuratively you would cut it off. Meaning, you see, you come out the world and you're trying to be right. You're trying to learn this truth. You're trying to learn how to be one West. You're trying to learn how to be better than what we've been aforetime and trying to reform yourself. Well, you know, you're gonna have people that you've known all your life that you've been dealing with who would cause offense to you. Meaning how? They will call you and be like, yeah man, let's go party, let's go do this. And when you used to party, you used to sleep with whores, you used to smoke weed, you used to sniff anything. There's nothing you wouldn't do, basically.
Cool.
You know what I mean? and with that, that's an offense. You know what I mean? And those are the hands and the feet that it's referring to cut off. If you got people around you that would only tempt you to do evil and are only trying to push the agenda of evil, you know what I mean? You know what they're about. You know what they're gonna say. You know what their intentions are. The Bible says to cut them off. You understand? Read on.
And cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life, halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands and 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire.
There you go, man. It is better to come through that fire with you lost your hand, you lost your foot, you lost an eye, you lost a tooth, maybe even an ear. But listen, you came through that fire righteously and strong, man. You know what I mean? You lost family members, you lost friends, you know what I mean? You may have lost a job. You don't even know. You could be working in the world that a job that, you know, is sinful, man. You don't even know. You could have lost a job, lost out of money, but the last end, you was righteous, man. You stood strong and went through that fire, man. That's what it's talking about. Lord did not ordain anybody to speak for him that will allow and enable, for lack of better words, pussies, you understand? Cowards. The Lord did not allow or ordain any man, woman, so like any man to speak for him and to ordain or condone weaklings, man. That's why in the UPK we are a no coward organization. We welcome tribulation openly. We welcome, you know what I mean, all of it, man. We want all the smoke because we will be better in the last end, man. Without tribulation, you can never be strong. You could only be weak. Without war, you can never have peace. It's just the way of things, man. It's the way the Most High set up this earth, and it's the way it will always be. There could never be a last end of reward without a trial at the forefront of it. There has to be some level of fire you would have to go to receive, especially the great reward of ruling over these nations. You understand? Ruling over nations of people and gaining greatness in the kingdom. You can never find that if you just walked in there and just sat down and listened to someone talk about a Bible. Talk about the Bible, you understand? Nah. You're going to have to get down and get with it and go hit the front lines up, you know what I mean? And start forging this kingdom. Grabbing that brick and that cement and putting in that work, man. You understand? You have to you have to go for that tribulation. You have to go on that front line and going through all of the smoke and going through and lifting all the heavy barrels and picking up the damn bricks and then unloading and loading them up and building this kingdom, man. Because it's not going to be founded by a bunch of weak, no backbone cowards who shave their faces and their heads and wear a bow tie and shiny boots, you know, and shiny little church shoes and the suits and that. No, man. and grinning teeth. Those are not the people who will rule the earth when Christ returns. Those people will not rule nothing. They will be at the bottom, barely able to feed themselves. You understand? Graveling and rolling around in the dirt. That's what they will be, because they are unfit. The Lord is a man of war, as the scriptures say. You understand? He ain't one to piss about. He don't want no weaklings running about here. You know what I mean? He wants warriors to do his bidding, man. You understand? And we can only be warriors if we endure tribulation. We can only be
Right.
warriors if we actually put our hand to the task. You understand? And take on whatever's ahead of us and not run away from it. That's the only way that we can achieve greatness, man. So like you read on.
So like you said, if I may,
Yeah, go
if
ahead.
I may just add to your point, if I could, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
James 1:1, I think it says, count it pure joy when we go through trials and tribulations. Just to add to your point,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. If you could read that, Bob Kishar.
Go on, sir.
Yeah, just hold all what you got, yeah, and read that, yeah, because that's a heavy precept. I think that's the
Go
one.
on, sir. Yeah, go on, sir. Yeah, James 1, verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations,
There you go, man. You
knowing this.
understand? You can't select
Right,
it, so you know what I'm saying? You count it all joy, man. You count it a great thing when you're struggling with the bills, man. You count it a great thing when you're struggling to pay, you know what I mean, certain things and debts, man. You know what I mean? And you have to work and you have to do all these things and go through this and go through that. Count it all joy, man. Count it joy. Read on.
but all concert. When ye fall into divers temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Go ahead.
But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and
There you
entire,
go, man.
wanting nothing.
That's right. You understand? Through all of that, you will achieve that perfection. Through all of that tribulation of suffering and not having much money and going through what you have to go through and barely eating and having to go through all of that, man, that will make you strong, man. You understand? That will make you perfect. Because you ain't gonna get nowhere if you ain't going through nothing. You know what I mean? It's like
Right,
them little rich kids. You know what I mean? And nothing wrong with having money, nothing wrong with growing up with money, nothing wrong with that. But listen, there's something that you are robbed of, man, and that's that level of warfare. You are robbed of that strength. You know what I mean? You're robbed of that understanding of having to deal with, having to go through something and having to be strong. You struggle. You won't be able to hack it. You know what I mean? Because you've just been and lived a life where you're surrounded by marshmallows and everything you touch is soft and cushiony. I
right,
mean, you ain't never had to go
right,
rugged and you ain't had to do with no brick walls and no barbed wire and no wild dogs. You know what I mean? You just dealt with soft, cuddly BS, which is a fairy tale anyway. But you know what I mean? That tribulation will make you powerful, man. That will make you strong. It's just like going to the gym. The only way you're gonna get strong is through tearing your muscles apart, man. Hitting them weights
right,
and tearing everything apart. Every muscle in your
right.
fiber, in your body, tearing it to sunder, man. And then
Mm,
through all that pain, even afterwards, your body will recover and heal. And then you'll be stronger, man. Then
right.
you'll be tough and rugged. That's what you need, man. That's what will make
Right.
you something great. It's the same thing with tribulation, man. It's the only way you can find strength is through tribulation. So okay, but heavy precept though, yeah, for order for that. But if you can get me go back to where you was, Bob Kishar.
Verse 9. And if
Come.
thine eye offend thee, pluck it out
Mm-hmm.
and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is better to enter into life with one eye rather than having two eyes and be cast into hellfire.
Mm-hmm. There you go, man. If it casts you into that state of oppression and destruction and slavery that we have only endured, it's better to go into the kingdom with one eye, like a patch on your eye, and you got one eye, but you ruling over the kingdoms of the earth, rather than to be under under and being subservient to another nation and being oppressed and dragged in the dirt and only brought down, but you have two eyes. You understand? That's what the Lord said. The Lord said that, listen, man, you better come through with one eye, one tooth left, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Come through with nothing, but you was righteous, you was perfect, you was strong, you understand? That's the way we can achieve the kingdom, is through tribulation, through suffering, man. It needs be that offenses come. It needs be that every man, woman, and child is tested because they must be worth it, man. They have to be strong. You can't be weak. You know what I mean? You can't be soft. You know what I mean? You have to, if you're a man, you have to have that bass in your voice and stand strong, man, and stand with integrity. You have to be as an army of 1,000, as one man, and then with your brothers, invincible. You understand? Rather than being like a heretic who may have 20,000 men, but yet just two of ours is worth more than all of those men that they have. You understand? Just two of our warriors will stand before all of that they have, all the horde of cowards. You know what I mean? Wearing purple. You understand? That's what the Lord wants. The Lord in the Bible, you go back in time, you read about Gediah one and his 300 men that stood against thousands of heathens, Philistines and other heathens that was about that coalition. You know what I mean? The Lord wanted those 300. We had more warriors, but the Lord wanted the 300. He wanted that quality, man. The Lord is not about quantity. He is about quality. You know what I mean? It could be one brother that may come for a time, but he is strong and he is of virtue and use. You understand? Rather than having 20,000 cowards, I'll take that one warrior, man, that one brother who will fight and die until the bitter end. You understand? You know what I mean? He will take it to the death. That is the one that the Lord wants. You understand? Not no little coward who has to rely on numbers and has to have backup. You know what I mean? You know, growing up on a side note, Salakia, a side note, there was always there's always that one you know what I mean, wherever you grow up, right? There's always that one youth who runs his mouth when he's with his boys, you know what I'm saying? When he's got man them with him. But when he's on his ones, he ain't saying nothing. He's like a mouse, bro. You understand? The Lord don't want that. The Lord wants that brother who will speak and tell you to your face, even in the midst of being outnumbered, even in the midst of you being there and even stronger than he is. That's the word that he wants. You don't want no coward who shook and only speaks when he's got people around him. You know what I mean? And even when people are around him and something happens, he's first one to run. He leaves those men out with him. You know what I mean? Lord don't want that, man. Lord don't want that here. You can go to some fake Israelite group where they, wear robes and purple and they wear rags and tags and they talk about nonsense and they like white women. You can go over there and do with that. That's over there. You can find that. But over here, the Lord is called warriors, man, and we in the UPK under command Junior Hunter, we respect that, man, and we honor it. We follow that command. You understand? You know what I mean? And it needs be that tribulation come, man. Tribulation will make warriors and make our nation strong again as it once was. You understand? So I can read on.
Can I just add to your point, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Verse 3 in 2 Timothy 2, verse 3 says, therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. Just to add to your point.
Right. That's right, man. Heavy precept, man. That's right. You know what I mean? The Bible is all about warfare. That's what the Bible's about. The Bible ain't about banging no damn tambourine, man, and crying and rolling in the dirt and acting like a damn idiot. No, the Bible ain't about that. You ain't gonna find that in the Bible. You can go back to the front, to the middle, to the back. You ain't gonna find that in the Bible. The Bible is about bloodshed and war, and about righteousness and unrighteousness. That's what it's about. It's about judgment and justice. That's what the Bible is about. It's nothing else. That's what it's about. Law and order and guidance to a nation of people that the Lord chose, man, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. That's what this Bible is about. It's about being. Read that again, Slacker.
2 Timothy 2, verse 3. Therefore, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh.
There you go, man. That's right. Simple as you can't. Very self-explanatory. You understand? You endure hardness as a good soldier, man. As a warrior, man. You understand? And you take orders and you move forward and you go to the front line and you gain glory and victory in battle, man. That's what you do, man. You don't cower and hide and whine like a little, you know what I'm saying? You get to the front line, you hold it down, man. You understand? You know what I mean? That's what you do. You charge forward and you take on anything that gets in your way. That's what the Lord wants, man. You enjoy having to pay bills. You enjoy having to deal with this at your job. You enjoy all things, man. And you take it on headstrong, man. You go straight forward because you, in the service of the Lord, you will not forsake what the Lord has given us, man. And that's what we should all look to be. You know what I mean? Man, woman, and child alike, you should enjoy that strength. You understand? Now understand that, you know, there's an order and a structure of things, but everybody has to endure tribulation. Everybody has to be strong. You understand? Nobody gets leeway to be soft and weak. No one. Everyone has to be strong one way, form, or fashion. Sulaki, read on from Matthew, Sulaki.
Verse 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father, which is in heaven.
And there you go, man. And those of us slackers, and those of us in this truth, we have to take heed that we despise not one of these little ones, man. Not one of these ones that is coming up and going through tribulation in their lives and is new and is tender and delicate. You understand? Because of the world that they have come through and the offenses that they have had to endure and the tribulation they've come through. Even just to step up and have that zeal enough to even watch classes, man. You understand? We should not despise them, man. Because it is a miracle for them to even be watching classes, man. You know what I mean? It's a miracle for them to be even looking at that and be like, what? These men look different, man. They wear different clothes. They talk they say very extreme things. And they you know what I mean, they just standing, they just keep on doing it, man. Most people be like, nah, man, that's madness, fam. I can't do that. That's a bit mad, fam. They're shook. That's why they say that, because they're shook. You know what I mean? They're not built for that. But for a brother or sister to see that and be like, you know what? That's what I want to be. I want to be strong and bold like that. Those people are to be cherished, man. You know what I mean? Because it's a miracle in the midst of all that we've enjoyed as a people for us to be so damaged and mentally destroyed and so weak in our communities, man. You know what I mean? For any brother to watch a class and actually want to be evolved and want to be better himself, then he is something to be behold, man. He must be something that at least we in here must not despise him. We must give him that level of virtue and mercy that our King bestowed upon us. You understand? We must give him that brotherhood that our King gave up unto us. You understand? That's what that scripture is referring to. So I can read on.
For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost.
There you go. You understand? That's who our King Yahushua Mashiach died to. You know what I mean? That's who he came for. That's who he suffered for and bled for, man. For brothers and sisters like that, who in the midst of all that they've enjoyed in their lives and all that they've been battered and they've been destroyed and have to go through so much, and the amount of things that they've done in their lives, and then for them to come in here, that's what the Lord came to, man. That's who our King was who came for, man. He came for those brothers and sisters who did not know, but he didn't come for those ones who knew the law, He came for those who were fallen astray, but had the zeal enough to want to come back. You understand? Not the ones who see what we do and teach, and they can't argue with it, but they ain't about it. They ain't like, they ain't, with it. They just like to look on from the sidelines. You know what I mean? But the Lord came for those brothers and sisters, those young men and young women who watch and actually, do hearken somewhat. You know what I mean? They do feel it. Those ones who are actually enough to contact the school and actually want to get involved and want to do better for themselves and better themselves in their lives. Those are the ones who we should not forsake. You understand? So I can read on.
How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and go off into the mountains and seek if that which is gone astray?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And if so, and if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray.
Mm-hmm. So there you go, man. So this is what our king is saying. This is the parable that he's just expressing. You know what I mean? That husbandry, that farming life, you understand? That's the example given, because that's what our people come from. Farmers and you know what I mean? And just back being a farmer or a shepherd, you have 100 sheep and one of them goes astray and strays from the herd or the flock, you understand? And most farmers would be like, you know what, listen, it's just the one, whatever. You know what I mean? Not all farmers, because you know what I'm saying, it costs a lot of money. But the parable is that this. You have a herd of 100 sheep, one goes astray. Right? Christ is saying that he will go for that one, man. And he will be rejoiced that one that is astray and in the world and broken and lost, that he will be rejoiced when that one is found, man. That one that young man or young woman is found, and they come back to the herd and to the flock, and they are strong again. You know what I mean? Not alone and wandering and in the midst of this world that only ever strives. So like in a world that only ever strives to destroy them. You understand? And they are lost and alone and cold in this world. And Christ, our King, says, you know what I'm saying? He will rejoice even more for this one that is found and is protected and is strengthened than the 99 who are already there. You understand?
Right.
Because this brother or sister has gone astray, but yet he is able to receive that mercy to come back, man. You understand? Not to be torn to sunder by the wolves, but he has been found back to be reunited with his family. You know what I mean? So I can read on.
And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray.
That's right. Go ahead.
Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish.
So there you go, man. It's not the will of the Father that any of our brothers and sisters perish, man. It's not the will that any of us succumb to the unclean abomination of this world that we are scattered in, man. It's not his will. But read on.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
So there you go, man. You know what I mean? It's not the will of the Father for brothers and or sisters to go astray into the world. But it does happen. You know what I mean? It's not something that we will rejoice over, but we will acknowledge who is about this and who is not. You know what I mean? We can acknowledge it, but we will never be happy to see our brothers dying in these streets. Happy to see our people suffering. They are sinners, yes, but the Lord came for those sinners, man. And we do not rejoice when our people die. We do rejoice, however, when Palestinians die. We do rejoice, however, when fake Jews die. We do rejoice whenever when the Africans die, Arabs die, white people die, because they oppress us and they are our blood enemies, man. according to the Bible. But we rejoice. We rejoice when our oppressors die, man. That's why we have the Passover, man. The Pesach. You understand? The Passover that we actually, we kept and we remembered because it was the remembrance of when the Most High slaughtered our oppressors, our slave masters, man, our enemies, man. You understand? That's what the Passover was about. Our nation being redeemed from the hands of the enemy and their sons and their daughters being slaughtered. You understand? That's what the Passover is about, man. We do not shed no tear for the enemy, man. We shed our tears for our brothers and sisters who are of our tribes and peoples, man. That's what we do, man. You understand? That's who we shed a tear for here. You know what I mean? That's who we have our compassion, our love, and our mercy to here. None else. And the Lord has no will to have any brother or sister to be fallen astray. But it will happen. You understand? Because they have made a decision, they have made a choice. And they have picked a side. You understand? So I can read verse 15 again.
Come on, sir. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
So there you go, man. When your brother or sister has offended you, you know what I mean? When he has offended you or she, and they have actually done you wrong, you don't do what we've learned in the world and be weak. You don't go and chat to your friends and your friends' friends and you just chat behind man's back or her back, whatever. You don't just hold it in and be secretive and stand there and let it fester inside you and rot you from the inside out. You don't do that, man. You go to him. You go to them alone, he and thee alone, man. So you and this other brother, you will speak to him face to face alone, man. You don't try to have your friends get involved and this and that. No, if you have been sincerely offended, this brother did you something wrong that you felt was wrong and you didn't like it, you go to this brother. You don't have to be rough with him. You can just be humble and speak to him. You know what I mean? And you tell your brother or your sister, listen, sis, or listen, brother, you know what I mean? This isn't right. This is what you did. I didn't like that. It truly offended me. I felt this way. I felt that way. And so on and so forth. And it was wrong according to this. You speak to them, you understand? You don't go and chat their name and be saying you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that to them and this and that. That's a cowardly thing that we learn from the world, you know what I mean? You rather than speaking to the man himself, you're just talking. You won't say it to his face, but you chat his name when he's not there. That's a weak and cowardly thing that we learned being in this place under the foot of our oppressor. You understand? This is law in Israel. You understand? This is how we deal with one another. This is what our king told us to do. You know what I mean? When we say it upright to their face. We don't have a camera like like them fake Israelites. They simple as can possibly be, and they are weak as can possibly be. No backbone cowards, because they will not do that. They went to some so-called unity camp, right? And an elderly brother, and he took a friggin' army with them, and surrounded an elderly brother and a few men that was with him, and they said that was Matthew 18:15. No. That's not Matthew 18:15. That's you being a coward who can't even talk to one elderly brother by yourself. Right. You know what I mean? That's you trying to intimidate your brothers and trying to push and bully them out the way. That's not be applying Matthew 18:15. Applying Matthew 18 here is going to that brother and you and him go to one side and talk. You know what I mean? And reason. Not showing a camera in his face and trying to humiliate the brother. That's not brotherhood, nor is that anything. You understand? But understand this. You know what I mean? It takes a man to keep the Lord the Most High. It takes someone with integrity to keep the Lord the Most High. It takes a coward. It is nothing for a coward to be in the world. It is nothing to do whatever feels right. You know what I mean? Or not to confront somebody who's done you wrong, or that you think has done you wrong, or you claim they done you wrong, or whatever the case may be. That is a cowardly action to not speak to them face to face. You know what I mean? It is cowardly and it is not of the Lord. The Lord is a man of war. He don't deal with cowards. He deals with people that bring about bloodshed for the cause, for the Most High, and for righteousness' sake. He doesn't deal with men that are too weak to even stand and speak one-on-one with his brothers, man. You understand? So like you read on.
Sir, can I, if I could add to your point, if I may?
So like if you could just read on though, because we've got a little bit of time. We've got quite a few to go through.
Okay, no sir. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take one, Salakia, take thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So here you understand that every word must be established within those witnesses. But this is the second step. There's steps to this, you understand? And the steps are that after initially speaking to your brother face to face and telling him what the situation is and how you took whatever he did to you, you know what I mean? Then if he thinks that, nah, this isn't right, I don't think that I did anything wrong here, or, you know, he thinks that this guy is just being a bit emotional, whatever the case may be, then, because both of them have not reached that agreement, both of them have not seen eye to eye, he's told him that he's still offended, or he or she or whoever has told him that he's offended, he doesn't feel right about what situation happened. And then the brother who's he's speaking to is like, well, I don't see what I did wrong here. You don't think he did anything wrong. So this is the point where then the person who's offended will then go and get 2 or 3 others. Sorry, you get 2 others, Salakia, and then they will hear the story. They will hear both sides, right? So that they can both witness what is being said here. So it's not just one-on-one now. It's 3 plus another. So that's 4, right? That's 4, and that's the 3 witnesses to behold what is being said from both parties, and of course, so that they can see who's wrong and who is right. You know what I mean? Read on.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. Verse 17, and if he shall neglect to hear them.
So now, this is the situation now. So now, the brother has brought two other men, you know what I mean, to hear the cause, hear the matter, right? And these 2 others is not just going to be, it's not going to be some friend of his that, you know, no, it's just going to be someone that is a neutral party, 2 people that are neutral and they're not involved in the situation. And they're going to witness the matter, you understand? And he's going to say his side, he's going to say his side. And then they're going to decide that, listen, he's wrong or he's wrong, whoever it may be. But in this scenario here, it's saying that the brother who caused the offense, he didn't hearken unto any of them. So it found out that those 2 other witnesses said the same thing as the one that was offended. They said that, listen, this brother is wrong. You can't do it to the man. You can't treat the man like that. You can't do it to him. You can't do him your brother like that. And this brother that caused the offense, he is wrong. You understand? He's wrong here. You understand? And he's not hearkened to any of them. So there's 3 brothers before him, and he's not hearkened to any of them. He's like, nah, you lot are all wrong, blah, blah, blah. But then they are all different witnesses. They've all heard the account, and all of them are saying the exact same thing. Look, read on.
And if he neglect to hear them, take it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
So there you go, man. You know what I mean? If he take it to the church doesn't mean take him to Sunday class. No, it don't mean that. The church is referring to Israel, the full body of the people. You know what I mean? So the full body of people would, you know what I mean, would be the most, in today's terms, would be the most part of the leaders of the school and the higher rankings. You understand? The bigger council, be all the ranking officers and all the people that are able to witness the matter. You know what I mean? And all able to witness and see what has been done here. You know what I mean? They would be able to give the account that these three witnesses, right? These three witnesses will be there. The brother who made the offense will be there, and the whole gathering of Israel, the Israel that wherever they are dwelled, those who are relevant to the time will be gathered there, and then it will be decided. It will be decided if the witnesses are wrong or this brother is wrong. And in this case, this brother is wrong. So the witnesses and the whole congregation of Israel is like, yo, you wrong, man. And he ain't helping to nobody. You understand? And the Bible says that let him be as a publican or an infidel. Like a publican will just be like a traitor, some form of traitor, you understand? I'm not going to clarify it right now. But he's some form of traitor, you know what I'm saying? He is as a heathen. As you would treat a heathen who has no part or no take with us, that is how he would be as, you understand? He would be as that because he has forsaken his oath. He has forsaken the oath he made to serve the Most High in Christ and his people. And he was unbrotherly, you know what I mean? Or sisters wise, it would be she was unsisterly, you understand? That's what that will mean. It will mean that in the greater cause of things, he wasn't right, and you didn't live up to the oath that you made. The oath that you made is to serve with righteousness and sincerity. And if you're wrong, you'd be like, you know what, Salaki, that's my bad. I guess I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I should better myself and move forward. But this brother didn't do that in this scenario. And that's what we should understand, man. If brothers and sisters today within our community could understand these laws that we read about right here, this law alone, right, on how to deal with your people, you think that how many people would have been alive today to survive bloodshed? You know what I mean? How many people today would have been alive and breathing and well and lived a long, decent life because the matter was dealt with according to order and structure? You understand? It wasn't just based on emotions and killing people and not dealing with it according to law and structure. You understand? Righteousness. It was just based on he looked at me funny, so I'm gonna shoot him in the face. You know what I mean? That's not that's not our way. But that is the way that we have came in this place that has defiled us. You understand? It's like you had something.
Because I was just going to give you the definition of publican, but I think
Oh yeah,
you're
go
right
ahead,
now.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so a publican in the ancient Roman and biblical times, a collector or farmer of taxes.
So there you go. Right. So he's a traitor, basically. You know what I'm saying? He's a collector of taxes. Meaning, in that time, the time of our King Christ, the Romans were they were ruling over us. You understand? We was under their rule. They had an
Right,
occupation of Israel and of many other places.
right,
As you know, the Roman Empire ruled over the entire world for the most part, right? And you know what I mean, they had an occupation over Israel, meaning we was under their rule. We was like a vassal state where we would pay our taxes to them. And you'd be like, you'd be like a sellout, like you'd be like a police officer today. You know what I'm saying? You going working for them and you doing their thing, and you trying to you up against us, against your own people. You know what I mean? You going out and getting his money for the oppressor, for Massa. But you ain't down here with us. That's basically, you know what I mean. But yeah, most High in Christ for that, man. That's right. You know what I mean.
right.
All right then. What verse did we read to?
We're on verse 18 now, sir.
Khan, read on.
Qadawal Khan, verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth
Mm-hmm.
shall be bound in heaven.
So there you go, man. Just remember that. Know this, man. Know this. That whatever you bound here on this earth today, however you carry yourself with your brothers and your sisters, and how you go about things, and how you deal with your people, and you deal with things, how you carry your life and live your life here, know that it will be bound in the kingdom to come as well, man. You will not be able to just walks up in the kingdom and be like, "What's up?" to everybody and think everything is all well and good. No, it
Right.
is not. The crimes that you've committed here will go on, and you will come back, and you will have to face those crimes, whether you face them here or not. In the kingdom to come, you understand? In the kingdom to come, mate, we will hearken, and you will have to face the judgment for those crimes, for abusing and hating your brothers without a cause, or causing a wicked and detrimental offense that is unseen. What's the word? Unseemly. That's the word I meant. But
Unseen.
yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, an offense that is just pure evil and hate and full of hatred. That without a cause, man. Like there's, you know what I mean? You killing your brothers. You're doing this, or you know, you dealing with brothers a certain way. They judgment will come. You understand? The judgment of the Lord will come, whether it come in this life or not. But know this, that will come, and that brother did in that scenario, right, of rejecting the church or Israel, you know what I mean, and forsaking the word of those witnesses and forsaking his brother, not even trying to hearken to his brother, not trying to be and build with his brother. You know what I mean? You have to answer for those crimes. So all that we commit
Salakia, sir.
here, people, huh?
Salakia, sir. You know the two people that come. Is that kind of a council? Did you say that's a council?
Right, that's a council. That's right. That's what that would be a
Oh,
council. That's right. Yeah, that would be a council
council,
today. Yeah, I
council.
should have said that. I should have said that actually. Yeah. So that would be what we call in the school today. That would be a council. Yes, that would be. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you know, moving forward, you know what I'm saying. Like committing these crimes in this life, we can never escape them. Just like our oppressor today, our oppressor has not answered for his crimes. The things that he has done upon our people and inflicted upon us today. Listen, man, you think he's just going to get away with it? You think everything's going to be happy and happy, everybody's going to be. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, man. Many of his sons and daughters will come back with one foot deformed, decrepit, all right? Or, you know what I mean? Born simple, you understand? And come back living in trailer, not even trailer park. That's too good for him, man. They're gonna be living in friggin' cardboard boxes, man. With the rain
That's
coming
right.
through the side, and you know, dogs eating better than them. That's how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Dogs are gonna be eating better than them, man. My dog will, you know what I'm saying? My animals, my herd will be, my flocks will be eating better than them over there for Slovakia. You know what I mean? And that's just how it's gonna be. The crimes that they've committed they as a people don't even have that compassion and remorse. You know what I mean? They don't even have that remorse. They don't even think like, they don't even think like, you know what we did was wrong. We should make amends. They don't even feel that way. There is few among them that will kiss the boots of the prophets, and they will receive a level of mercy higher than their brothers and sisters. But they still gonna find judgment. You know what I mean? They're gonna get a better sentence. You know, we get a little bit more time in the house rather than in the field. You know what I mean? If you want them in your house, I mean, you know what I'm saying. But there's a judgment to be answered for, man. There's justice. That's what justice is. You understand? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Whatever's bound in this earth, man, will be bound in the heavens. You know what I mean? We're bound everywhere. I mean, there is a record being taken. The Most High and His angels have everything written down. Everything is noted and jotted down, man. Everything is on record. Nothing that is done or said or thought on this earth is in secret. You know what I mean? When you think about it, it is really something because nothing that is done is in secret. Even from the eyes of your people or even from the eyes of the people around you, but nothing can be hidden. Nothing can be put away in secret. Everything is seen. The Lord and the Alahayim and our King, they see all these things, man, which is done on this earth. And judgment will be come to pay. You understand? So like you read on.
Council. And whatsoever is loosed on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them in my part. It shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Can I read that again, sir?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them.
So there you go, man. That's why it says 2 or 3 witnesses. You understand? When you know what I mean, a council. That's what a council is. You know what I'm saying? That's 2 or 3 witnesses on a matter, and it's being established. Whenever 2 or 3 are gathered in the name of the Most High, and for the work and the cause of the Lord, He's there. He's there in the midst of it, and He sees all. You know what I mean? He is the one orchestrating this council. He's the one who decides what happens and who, and justice being served. The Lord does that, man. The Most High is in the midst of these things, man. This is not just some. This ain't just some, random stuff. No, this is of the Most High. This is of the Creator of the heavens and the earth, man. This is what He ordained the things to be. That we can have strength, but we have integrity also. We're not just wild beasts. We're not like the heathen who have no proper actual structure or anything. They just do whatever they feel like doing. You understand? That's why this kingdom is so defiled today, because that's what they do. They're just animals. You understand? That's how they conduct themselves. But we come from a royal stock, a royal pedigree. You understand? We have orders and laws to keep and follow. You understand? And our power, Most High power, has ordained us to do what is written, man. You understand? Read on, Salakia.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
And again I say unto you, that if sir.
No,
Verse 20.
no,
For where 2 or 3 are 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me?
Mm-hmm.
And I forgive him.
So basically, you know what I'm saying? Peter's the one, I believe, who cut off the traitors' ear off when they came to arrest our king. You know what I mean? He came and cut man's ear off with the sword, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I believe that's the one. You know what I mean? He's asking our king, you know what I mean? He's like, listen, man, how many times can a brother offend me, man, and I have to forgive him? You know what I mean? How many times must he what's the word? Inflamed? Anyway, how many times must he piss me off, Salaki? You know what I mean? Before, you know what I'm saying? How many times are you gonna, how many times must I endure my brothers and sisters, man? Salaki, read on.
Offend me. How often shall I forgive my brother that sin against me? And I forgive him till 7 times? Yahweh said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 77 times.
Until 70 times, 7 times, or so on and so forth, right? But that is just they understand the Bible, understand our culture. That is just a period of time, meaning just forever. You know what I mean? As long as there's breath in your lungs and there is blood flowing through your veins, you will forgive your brothers and sisters, man. That doesn't mean now. Let's just say, for example, that there's a brother or sister who's just on a madness, like literally on a madness, right? Every single time they do something again, right? That don't mean you're gonna learn from the first time. So there's something that they did the first time, then you're gonna be like, okay, this is a consistent tendency. So let me try to adjust. You know what I mean? Let's say the brother may be a thief, and every time he steals from you, it's the same thing. You go to a council, he's like, oh, my bad, you know what I mean, I have a problem, and he does it again. Well, you're not gonna have him come to your house, are you? You know what I mean? You're just gonna be like, keep it real. You're not gonna try to seek vengeance. You don't want his head on a spike because he's your brother and he's from your bloodline, your peoples. But you're not going to be retarded. You know what I mean? You're not going to put him in the same scenario again to then cause that offense again. You understand? But you still forgive him. You just say, bro, our people are destroyed, man. They're damaged, man, and they need help. But you have to be that place of rest. You know what I mean? Even in the midst of it, you just have to be from a distance. You know what I mean? You have to be at that place of rest. You're not going to put yourself in the same scenario where you're going to allow yourself to be harassed or stolen from or whatever the offense may be with that brother or sister. You're going to move wisely and learn from it. You understand? But we will always forgive our people. We always have that compassion and our love and our mercy to our people. You understand? But for the others, man, listen, man, they got something coming that no man's earth can possibly understand or comprehend. There is a judgment that a man thinks is judgment. There's another judgment where the Lord will do that. You know, it will be just right, but you can't even feel it. You can't even fathom it, man. You know what I'm saying? You can only have some form of understanding, but when it comes to those heathens, man, listen, they have crimes that they have committed and that they are still committing. You understand? And they have no answer for those crimes. The Lord remembers that, man. You know what I mean? Just like how they remember 9/11 and they remember this so-called Holocaust, all that crap. You know what I mean? We remember the crimes that they did unto us. We remember when those Arabs who people want to look to and give love to, those Arabs in all those war-torn countries over there, right? We remember the crimes of them that sold us and that slaughtered our forefathers and foremothers. You understand? We remember that. We remember the crimes of even going to those countries and seeing how they treat us. You understand? We remember that, and above all things, the Most High Power remembers it, man. We remember when when the Arabs, Ishmael, oppressed and slaughtered our forefathers and tried to commit us to that dumb, retarded stone in Mecca to bow to it. You understand? We remember that. The Lord remembers those things. The Lord remembers when Amalek, a Jewish man, funded the transatlantic slave trade. The Most High remembers that. The Most High remembers when those Amalekites, those Khazarians of the Khazarian Empire, stole our culture and our heritage. The Lord remembers that. You understand? He has not forgotten those crimes. It's a bitter and vile crime for them to even call themselves Israel, to even be in our state and land and wearing and taking our holy shield that was of our forefather. You understand? Taking our shield is a signet of our king and his bloodline. And they took it for themselves and called themselves those bastardized people with their Yiddish and their fake Hebrew and their unclean selves, man. These people, listen, the Lord has not forgotten them. But you know who has? You know who has forgotten their crimes? You know who has? The brothers and sisters in the community, man. Brothers and sisters who would have loved them, man. That's those traitors, you understand? That's who's forgotten, man. You have forgotten your forefathers that was dragged over here. And then, not even just that, but we're still suffering at the hands of these people today. You understand? We still are, the Whitmer generation is still being deported, even though they come from the people that came and rebuilt this land and this empire. And prior to that, built up the further wealth of the entire empire in itself. And you think that the Most High Power and those who serve him are going to forget those crimes? No, man. But you will. But you won't remember those things, which is right before your face, and it's on a bigger and larger scale. But you will remember the crimes of a brother who owes you £10. You know what I mean? You will remember the crimes of a sister who looked at you funny. Or something rather, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? You will remember the crimes of people who simply lived in different ends from you. You understand? You remember the crimes of a people who come from the same lineage as you, but simply because he lives in over them ends and I live over here, so you know what I mean, there's problems. Idiot thing, man. That is foolishness. You that's how you treat your own blood, but then those people who hate you and will not think twice about stringing you up and castrating you today.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to love them and think about them? Fuck them, man. Salakia.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean? To hell with them, man. If you go to Palestine right now, right, even if it wasn't in a war-torn situation, whatever case it is, if you was to go over there, you think those people will treat you with any love and compassion like you showed them? You think they won't castrate you and string you up if you look at one of their women? Now, listen, no one ain't condoning looking at no other nation women. No one ain't condoning that here. But just understand the mindset of these nations of people. When you go over there and you strutting your stuff and you doing your thing, you think they're gonna show you that love and compassion? Talking about making posts and all the rest of it. Listen, man, you gotta really wake up and look at the reality of the world you live in. Stop getting high. Stop sniffing stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Stop living in a fairy tale, man. Wake up, man.
Right.
You understand? Wake up and
Yeah.
see your people are being slaughtered and treated like dogs. But yet, when they suffer some level of suffering that they are deserving of anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is a mere taste of what is to come for those nations. Just understand that, right? You want to then show your compassion for them. Listen, man, I say let them fight each other and destroy one another, man. Let prophecy
Right.
be fulfilled, man. And let these
Right.
empires be destroyed so that our empire can rise up, man. Let our King Yahushua come back and bring forth that salvation that we've been all waiting for. You understand? Let our King come back and subdue these nations, man. And bring them the swift judgment of the Most High. That's what I say. Let them kill each other, man. Let them, for once, they're not killing. Well, they are still killing us, but you know, at least they're killing each other now. You know what I mean? Why should we worry about the affairs of them who have only hated us?
Right.
You gotta wake up, Black and Hispanics and Native Americans, man. You gotta stop living in this Christianity fairy tale that you're living in, because that's not the world you come from. You can't go over those places, right, and think that they're your buddies. No. They're gonna tell you something and they're gonna do you something, bro. If you can go over there, listen, go to, even if you're, whether you like the Palestinians or you like the Israelis or whatever the case may be. I don't like any of them, but whatever, right? Whatever side you want to pick, because I know you ain't picking the side of your people. That's for damn sure. You know what I mean? When things go down with it, you go to Israel right now. You see how they treat our brothers, man. You go to Israel, you see what they do to you. You go to Palestine, you go to which understanding this, they just parted our land. You know that, right? You know that the whole thing is Israel. Like they've just departed it and made their own little borders and stuff. But that whole, it's more than those little pieces. That's not what Israel is. Israel is the whole thing. But that's another topic. But you understand? We need to understand that. Listen, man. We are the sons and daughters of Yasha Allah, man. The princes and princesses of the power. You know what I mean? We come from that royal stock, and we should stop trying to get into the affairs of other nations. We should come back to our heritage and love our brothers and sisters, man. Truly and sincerely so. Not being BLM, Black Lives Matter, which is spearheaded by lesbians, you know what I mean, who can never truly appreciate nor care about the life of their people if they're living a lifestyle that is abominable and it does not contribute to our people. You can't promote life with that. Another woman can't impregnate you. You know what I mean? You want to uplift and raise up our children in an environment that will destroy them and damage them. As if we haven't been destroyed and damaged enough as a people as it is, man. You think promoting homosexuality and trans BS and all that crap is going to benefit our people? That's going to further destroy us, man. We need to come back to our culture and our way, and loving everybody and following every form of unclean lifestyle is not going to uplift us. You know what I mean? But what truly will is coming back to the heritage that the Lord gave us, man. It's coming back to restoring the black household, man. Restoring the father figure and the mother figure You know what I mean? And the children being in obedience to their parents, man, in all righteousness. That's what we should restore, man. We should restore the heritage that of someone who of nation of people who don't just eat anything, that don't just smoke and sniff and do what everyone else does. We do what we have been doing for thousands of years and doing what our foreparents have been given and following these laws, man. Not following and loving after everybody else, man. Forget them, man, because they have never loved us and they never will.
That's right.
But
Right.
until the black man realizes that, loving other nations of people is not getting us anywhere. Listen, you go to Nigeria right now, you go to Ghana, they're dark skinned people. But listen, among their tribes, they are different peoples. It's not about skin color. If you go to Africa, you go to the continent of Africa, right? There are thousands of different tribes and languages, you name it, man. And they are all divided based on those things. And we, of anybody, right, to try to go over there and be listen, that's not how it works, bruh. We are a
Mm,
different tribe entirely. We're a different nation entirely. We are not one of them. And you know what I mean? Let them have what is theirs, man. Let them have their culture. Their tribes and their peoples came together and dragged us to the slave castles. You understand? And listen, the Lord will have his reward and they will have their judgment. But we should acknowledge that, listen, for them to do that to us is no different from the Arab or the white man or any other nation of people because
cause.
they are not our own. And that's what we need to
Right.
understand. When we face reality and look at the fact that every nation of people is different and they have enemies, we are their enemy, man. You understand? And there's nothing wrong with them doing that. Just know that they're not gonna get away with it. The Lord will have his judgment. But those people are not your own. When you are ignorant to history and facts and you just go based on whatever sounds good and you're looking at freaking comic books talking about Wakanda, like that's not real, you do not understand that that was not real. And even if it was, and even the some aspects of it that actually did correlate with us today, right? You know what I mean? There's some aspects of Wakanda and that, and that Black Panther movie that does correlate with us today. You see how the Wakandans was like, listen, man, we're here for our people, not for you lot over there. But the Killmonger, he fought because we're all dark skinned, we're all the same. They understood that that's not how things work, and the ancient world understands that nations of people are not defined by their skin color. There's some East Indians that are darker than me. There's some Arabs that are darker than me. You understand? And this is the thing that doesn't define us. That's not who. That doesn't make you who you are, what nation you come from. But what makes you who you come from is your lineage, your bloodline, man, and your culture and your heritage. And we are not them, and they are not us. Stop trying to
Right.
love other nations and maybe
Mm-hmm.
find some glory in loving the people that you come from. Maybe find some glory in acknowledging your brothers and sisters from the Caribbean or from the Americas
Right.
or from South Central America. You know what I mean? How about acknowledging the people that you come from, man? Stop trying to beg friend and be other nations of people. How about you love where you come from, man? How about you love your nation, just like these nations do? And there's nothing wrong with that. I implore them to love their own. It's beautiful. I love to see it. But when will the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans love our own people? When we when
That's
we
right.
when we try to not envy our oppressors. You understand? When we try to love our own and love the beauty within our own culture and our own way. You understand? Stop trying to beg friend and be something you're not, man. That's the problem. Everyone wants to be a beg friend, bro. You know what I mean? Just love. You come from
Mm,
there. You lot come from that stock, man, and you should love that. You understand? So trying to bleach your skin and perm your hair and being an idiot. Listen, man. Love where you come from and love your people. You understand? That's what you should
cause.
do, and that's how we're gonna restore the brotherhood within our communities, man. You understand? So, like, read on from there, Bob Kasha.
Could have come to. Yahweh shall say unto him, I not, I say not unto thee, Salakia, verse 23. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven likened, Slakia, therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servant.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents. But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made.
So this king, right? He demanded that this brother and his family and everything be sold, that they can make amends for the payment by being sold themselves. You understand? Read on.
The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all.
So okay, read that bit again.
Verse 26. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all.
Read on.
Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt.
So there you go, man. You understand? This is how the kingdom of heaven will be, man. Among brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Instead of selling the man and his entire family for the debt that they have, he's gonna have compassion on the brother, man. You know what I mean? He's gonna make a payment plan, or he's gonna help him out some way because it's his brother. You know what I mean? He had that compassion, man. He had compassion unto his brother and his brother's family and household, man. You know what I mean? When will blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans find compassion in their own people? You understand? Find compassion in your brothers and sisters, in your people, who you come from, man. And stop trying to love everybody else. Try to have compassion unto your people, that you know what I mean, of whom you come from, man. You know what I mean? Have some compassion for them, man. Your brothers who have been endured the emasculation and the you know what I mean, the emasculating and vile kingdom that this place is, man. Trying to bring down a black man, trying to make him soft and weak, only promoting this homosexuality and this effeminate lifestyle that is always thrown down the brothers' throats, and teaching them to be weak and hateful to their own people. That's what they've known their whole lives. So how about you have some compassion because you know where he come from and you come from where he come from, man. How about you have some compassion on your brothers and give them that chance that Christ gave us, man. You understand? We should learn as this king did and give that compassion, man. You understand? So I can read on.
But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat.
So look at this, man. This is the hatred and the lack of compassion that we see within our communities, man. Now, the same servant who received that mercy, this is what he bestowed onto his other brother that owed him money. You understand? This is the unrighteousness. This is not brotherhood. Laid hands on the man, you know. I didn't buy his throat, his neck, you know. You know what I mean? Because he didn't have his money. No compassion on the brother. No compassion on him. You know what I mean? But if it was Johnny or whatever his name is, you know what I'm saying? If it was Johnny or Frank, you know, there's plenty of compassion for them. Their blue eyes and blonde hair. You better start grinning and smiling and bowing to Massa. He didn't pay you back money and he's grinning teeth with him. You know what I mean? Nah. We should learn to have compassion on our brothers, man. Have that mercy on our brothers and sisters because they are our own, man. This is they are all we have, you understand? So I can read on.
And took him by the throat, saying, Pay that thou owest. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. And he would not.
See? You see that? He was given mercy, and he didn't even bestow that mercy onto his brother, man. You understand? That's why our king says, you understand, we should love our brothers as ourselves, man. Love our neighbor as ourselves, man. You know what I mean? The same way we would like to have mercy from the Most High in Christ, and He would love to spare our lives and let us live forever, even commit all the wickedness that we've committed in our years and lives. You know what I'm saying? All the sins that we've committed against the Most High. You know what I mean? The Lord still gave us breath. We're still alive today, and yet you've been given that mercy, but yet you can't even show that compassion and mercy unto your brother for nothing, a little bit of money, a little bit of change. You know what I mean? That is wickedness, man, and that's what we should not be. We should not be like that. That those sellout coons who are quick to hate their brothers and sisters, but have so little, but so much mercy and compassion for the heathen who hate us, man. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You know what I mean? That's the issue. So like, we ever got a question? Sister Kapar, she got a question. She said, Salakia, if I may, I'm not trying to ask a dumb question, but what if there are not three and two people? Only one person. What is there only? What is there only? Yeah, for Sister Kapar, right? To your question, in a scenario where there's an offense between a brother or two sisters or two brothers or whatever have you, right? You know, in the school, for example, we have elders. You know what I'm saying? We have men above at a one yim. You understand? We have people above us who we go to. So, when you say there's not one, I mean, you know, the Lord. What the Lord said is in council. That's what it's referring to. That, and that precept in Matthew, it's referring to the council of the Lord. And in that, in the witnesses, that's what the Lord is doing, because every word is established. For example, if it's just one person could be lying, one person could be just being wicked, right? But if there's multiple witnesses, 2 to 3 witnesses, every word can be established, right? And the Lord is there because there is all those witnesses. Do you understand? That's what it means. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Sister Kapar, about will God still be with him? Because I'm not trying to. I'm not. I like I can't possibly. You understand? Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, Most High in Christ. You know what I mean? But yeah, you understand? And that's the thing, man. We have to be orderly, because the Lord is not about mysticalism. It's about facts and understanding prudence. Prudence is something that we can do now, that through our ages it will still be beneficial to us. It can still last and still only it can still preserve us years to come. And the Lord gave us prudence in the law. There is prudence in the laws of brotherhood, because there is no time period. You know what I mean? Whether we're having flying cars or we're, you know, going in space and driving around in space and, you know, whatever, right? Doesn't matter what time period, the law will always stand, and it will always uphold its mission in keeping the brotherhood and sisterhood of Israel. You understand? That's what the Lord gave us. So you got people today talking about the Bible is old and this and that. We went through this precept, and we went through the chapter of Matthew, more or less the whole chapter. This doesn't matter about time. This is about anywhere we are, whatever time it is. That if that being applied within our community will be strong and very, very beneficial to our people, and will make us a stronger and more unified people. But you won't find that in the book of the dead, because first of all, it ain't for your people, and neither is it for the living, man. You know what I mean? All of that. Listen, all these heathen things that you want to follow. Listen, man, the Quran, all them things there, none of that can touch our records, man. The Bible, man. You know what I mean? Those many books. That's the records of our forefathers, man. And the Lord gave that to us. You know what I mean? And that's why the so-called Caucasian, our oppressor, you understand? That's why he can't understand it. Because he is not made for him, man. That's why only the man of the Lord, the children of Israel, can fully understand its meaning and sayings in the I.S.U.P.K under command, John YAHANNA. because that's where the Lord put his name, man. That's where the Lord revealed the secrets unto man. You know what I mean? And with that, so you got any more on that? Okay, is there any more on that precept?
Last, sir.
Okay. What verse was that, Salakia?
Verse, Salakia, yeah, there is Salakia, other one. Yeah,
Okay,
there
go
is.
ahead, quickly, go ahead.
Go on.
Officer.
But went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt.
Mm-hmm.
So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry and came and told unto their Lord all that was done. Then his Lord, after he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desirest me. Shouldest not thou also have compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee?
That's right, man. You understand? And that's what our King Yahushua is showing us, man. Is that we have been shown that level of mercy and compassion, but yet you can't even show that to your own brothers. That's the point. You understand? You don't want to give your compassion and your love to your own people, but you are quick, and we're quick to receive mercy and compassion, but you don't want to bestow it onto your people, man. You want to give it to the heathen. That's the problem, man. And we need to find out that, listen, man, the only true place of brotherhood in 2021 in this world is in the I.S.U.P.K under command Junior Yohana. And since 1969, we have been teaching the so-called blacks, the transatlantic slave trade, the natives of North, Central, and South America, and the Caribbean, are the true biblical Israelites. And we must come back to brotherhood, man. We must come back to the brotherhood of the scriptures and come back to the brotherhood of our King Yahushua Christ. You understand? And with that, that's the class. I pass the class over to Trooper Hakayan Karabu, the announcements. You understand?
You want to clap it, sir? All right. Okay. We are the I.S.U.P.K. started at 1 West, 125th Harlem Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. Rules for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives unto the Treasury Department. Priest funds. Salakia, sir. Let's just go into that one. That's it. That's all I've got on there, sir. Salakia.
What? Salakia, say again?
That's all I have. I don't have the rest of it. Salakia. Salakia.
Check your WhatsApp again. It's definitely there. Check the chat. Remember I showed you before?
Can't, sir.
Good, yeah?
No, I'm just gonna.
It should be the whole file.
Yeah, can't, sir. I'm gonna get that. Salakia. Oh, yeah, that is. Just looking through the WhatsApp.
No, sir.
Right now. Sir. Oh, Khan, I got it now, sir. Salakia. Shall I read it again, sir?
No, just from where you was. Just from where you was at.
Khan, sir. Priest fund, pre-will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Is that the 21st of June, Salakia, the one?
Khan, that's
2021?
right. That's right.
Is that Purim, sir?
No, that's the 50th day. That's the Pentecost.
Pentecost. Salakia.
Khan.
Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Amajim, I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer, the Hebrew first. So, Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Kodash,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Shamkar,
Shamkar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malakovka,
Lakovka,
Saba'ah,
Saba'ah,
Ratazaka,
Rizaka,
Hayah,
Ayah,
Aisha,
Isha,
Barataza,
Barakaza,
Kawar,
War,
Hayah,
Ayah,
Bashemayim,
Bashamayim,
Nathanawa,
Funanawa,
Lakam,
Kam,
Kalyawam,
Talyawam,
Wasalakanawa,
Wasalakanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Hawasanawa,
Kasalakanawa,
Hasalakanawa,
Kabawatanawa,
Hawasanawa,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Tabayanawa,
Thabaya Ainawa,
Manasayawan,
One,
Abol,
Bar,
Hawashinawa,
Oshanawa,
Mayan,
Mayan,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Yakar,
Hamalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Wala'ala,
Baha'ala,
Wahataparit,
Hakaparaf,
La'aywalamim,
Iwilamian,
Amen.
Aman, and in the English, our Father,
Our Father,
who art in heaven,
who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name,
Thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
in earth
in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors,
as we forgive our debtors,
and lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever, so be it.
forever, and so be it.
And with that, the courtesy salute. I Majum Shabbat, I Majum Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah,
Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shabrakatah.
Yajamata, class dismissed. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Shalom, Yahweh Shabrakatah.